It's a pleasure. Adriana Maldonado from ESPN. You mentioned the challenges you faced as a coach in the Gold Cup, as the Mexican national team coach, and you're saying that this is your main challenge as a strategy creator. And I would also like to know Amadrisi's
Sí,
status.
hola
You
Adriana.
mentioned he's training
Buenas tardes a
separately.
todos. Sí,
Good afternoon.
sin duda que a nivel de
Yes,
clubes,
undoubtedly.
evidentemente,
At
este
club
es
level,
el partido
this is, of
que
course,
más viste, el más importante,
the
no solo porque es el siguiente, sino por el rival
major
y lo que
match,
representa el
not only
rival y lo
because
que nos
it's
estamos
the
jugando también
following
nosotros
one,
de
because
cara
of our rival,
a lo
what
que
the
viene en el
rival
Mundial de
represents,
Clubes.
and
No pudimos
what's
obtener
at stake
el
in
resultado que
the
esperábamos el partido anterior
Club
y
World
bueno,
Cup.
también
In the
me parece
previous
que
match, we
lo
did
mismo
not achieve
pasa con el Real
the
Madrid,
expected
acostumbrado
results.
a
But
ganar
for the
siempre, a
next
ser un
time, you
candidato
know
siempre en cada torneo en el que se
that
planta
Real Madrid is used to
y
winning. They're
haremos todo lo
always the
posible el día de
favorite.
mañana por ganar el
We're
partido,
trying
evidentemente,
to make
no hay
all
manera
our
para
efforts
nosotros.
to
Y después
win tomorrow.
de Idrissi,
It's our
sí,
only option.
lamentablemente, ahí
About
se
Idrissi,
sintió una molestia un poco
unfortunately,
algunos días antes del partido
a
con
few
Salzburgo
days prior to
bueno,
the
todavía
match
está
with
muy en duda, pero
Salzburg, he wasn't
difícil
feeling well.
que pueda recuperarse
It's
para este partido.
unlikely that he will recover for the next match, but we hope so. Hello, Jaime.
Gusto saludarte.
Igual.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's hard to dream beating the Real Madrid. I know that you're looking for the victory. People are enthusiastic, quite excited. Lots of people have traveled just to see this match. What would you say to the fans? And another question, many other teams
Bueno,
have
¿qué le digo a la afición?
tried
Agradecerles siempre el
to
apoyo.
defeat the
Evidentemente
top ones.
estarán
What do
muy
you think
ilusionados, muy entusiasmados.
about tomorrow's match?
No todos los años
I know
ni todos los días se puede
people
enfrentar
are
a un rival de esta
excited, the
jerarquía,
fans,
pero
the supporters know, and
yo creo
they're
que lo
aware
primero
that
es
not
tenerlo
every
claro
day
en la
you get
cabeza.
to
Más
face
allá de jugar de tú a
such a
tú, tienes que
high-ranked
ver tus
rival.
fortalezas, tienes que ver
Yes,
las
it's not
fortalezas del
necessarily
rival,
to
tus debilidades y las
try
de
to
ellos.
play
Y en base a
equal, but you
eso,
need to assess your
creerlo. Para mí es
opponent's
creerlo,
pros
creerlo
and
de verdad
cons. But I really think that you have
y
to
lucharlo porque
believe
no hay
in
equipo
yourself
invencible y ya, ya hemos
and
visto en este
fight
Mundial de
for
Clubes algunas
whatever you
sorpresas
want.
y bueno,
Nobody
de
is
nuestra parte
invincible.
salir
We've
con todo al
seen many
campo, tratar de
surprises
pelear
in this
con
Club
todas
World
nuestras
Cup,
armas para que
so
el
we're
partido
in it to win it
podamos
with all of
competirlo primero de
our
buena manera y
weapons.
después
So
evidentemente aprovechar las
first,
opciones que fue
we
lo que me
are
parece
fit
que
to
nos dejó un
compete
poquito
and to make the
rezagados
most of
en
all
puntos
our
el partido anterior.
options. I think that's why we were a little bit behind in points in the previous match. Next question, please.
Jaime, buenas tardes. Un placer.
Jaime, good afternoon. It's a pleasure. Marcelo Benedetto from DirecTV. Hello, Marcelo. The Club World Cup is still evolving. Do you see many differences between the European clubs and the rest? What's your assessment?
Un tema de estructura.
Well, of course, there's something about the structure. In recent years, European football is quite structured. It has gained structure among most of the clubs, although the weather has taken a toll on everybody. It's taken a toll on the show because the physical performance of most players has been hindered. On top of that, in any league and on this occasion when we're playing other types of clubs that are not necessarily the top A. If you're tactically not the best, you need to make a balance between your mind and your heart. Otherwise, it's really difficult to narrow down the gap. So I believe that the weather is making things hard for most of the clubs. And I'd like to be adamant on this, surprises. Let's expect surprises. We've seen them already. In the back.
Jaime, buenas tardes, Carlos de ESPN Brasil.
Hola.
Hello, Casio from ESPN Brazil. Vinicius Jr. is one of the Real Madrid star. Do you think he's the top player presently? Do you have any
Sí,
specific
Vinicius
strategies
lo
for
conocemos, es
Fernando?
evidentemente
Well,
los mejores
we're all
jugadores
aware of who
del
Vinicius
mundo, por eso está en
is.
el equipo que
He
está,
is,
por
of
eso
course, one of the
ha
best
ayudado a su equipo a ganar
footballers of the
lo que ha
world.
ganado
This
y
is
sin duda
why
alguna
he's
que
playing at Real
pues no solo
Madrid. He
Pachuca, creo
has
que todos los
scored
equipos cuando
many points for Real
nos toca
Madrid.
enfrentarlo, pues
And,
buscaremos la manera
not only
de
Pachuca, when you
reducir las
face one of
posibilidades
those
que ellos
monsters,
tengan.
you try
Todos
to
son muy buenos y
narrow
él es un
down their
especialista
chances.
en el uno
They're
contra
all
uno, en el uno
great,
contra
and
dos,
he's a
y
specialist
trataremos
in
de estar
one by
bien
one, one
agrupados
by
cuando
two.
él tome el
So
balón.
we're going to
Trataremos
try
de estar
to
muy atentos
build
también
up
porque no
as a group
solamente
whenever he's
tiene
in
un gran
possession
mano a
of the
mano,
ball,
sino que
and we're
también
going to
pasa
try
muy
to
bien el
play
balón.
together
Entonces son jugadores
because he's a
inteligentes, son
great
jugadores
passer
distintos, son jugadores que
too.
te hacen
He's
una gran
a smart
diferencia
player. They're
y que
all
aún
quite
su equipo,
unique,
llámese
distinct.
Brasil
They
o
make
Real
a
Madrid en este
difference, and
caso,
whether
no teniendo un
he's
buen
playing for
partido, ellos
Real
pueden,
Madrid or
como
Brazil,
dicen, ¿no?
although
frotar la
they
lámpara
may not
y
be
cambiar
at the
todo el rumbo
best
del
of
mismo encuentro.
the matches, they can still rub the lamp and they can make magic.
Hola Jaime, Andrea Montolivo de la agencia.
Hello, Jaime. Andrea Montoya from EF.
De Xavi Alonso como entrenador
What
en los
have
últimos
you
años y
seen
también
of
qué
Xavi
idea
Alonso
del
as a
Madrid del
coach
otro día
in
con el Al
recent
Hilal?
years, and
Sí,
what
un gran
did
técnico de
you
lo,
think about Madrid
de,
with Al Hilal the other day? Well, he's a great coach.
de lo mejor en los últimos años, lo que iba a hacer
He's
con
among the
Leverkusen
best
fue
in recent
fenomenal.
years. What he did with
Sin duda alguna
Leverkusen was
que es un
amazing.
técnico que necesita tiempo para
And
implementar su
undoubtedly,
idea como cualquier
he's
otro
a
técnico en
coach
el
that
mundo.
still
Se ve
needs
que va
time
empezando,
to
se ve que
implement his
tiene
game
pocos
in
días
full.
el
As
equipo,
any other coach,
pero
he's just
repito, ya
starting
empieza a
out.
impregnar
He's
su
been
idea
there
desde
for
el
just a
primer
few
encuentro.
days, but he
Creo que
has
el Al
already
Hilal
started
hizo un
to
buen partido,
impregnate his ideas
defensivamente
ever
se
since the
aplicó
first
cuando
match.
tuvo que hacerlo
Al Hilal
y
played
no desistió en
wonderfully.
atacarlo. No
They
dudó un solo
were
momento en salir a
really
velocidad, en
strong,
atacarlo, en ser valiente cuando
and
tuvo que
they
tener el
were
balón. Me
strong,
parece
they
que
were
dentro de lo
fast,
que
they were
cabe fue un partido
brave
muy
whenever
parejo,
they got a
que
hold
los
of the
dos
ball.
generaron
So I
opciones de
thought
gol.
I think
Evidentemente,
it was
uno
quite an
espera
equal match.
siempre
Both of them
que
created
el
goal
favorito, en este caso el
options.
Madrid,
Of course, the
hubiera sido
expectation
todavía
was
más
that Madrid,
imponente en este
which
primer
was
encuentro,
the
pero me parece
favorite,
que un buen encuentro
would
de los
impose
dos
itself in
equipos
this first match,
y
but
sin
it
duda
was
que
a
repito, con el
great
tiempo el Madrid de Xavi Alonso
encounter,
será
and
cada vez más
throughout
potente.
time, Xavi Alonso's Real Madrid will be increasingly powerful.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Javier Estepa del diario Marca.
Hello,
Quiero preguntarle por la
Javier
ausencia
Estepa from
de Mbappé,
Marca.
si le cambia
Mbappe's
el
absence,
planteamiento de cara al partido, si piensa
does
que
it
sin él
change your
Francesco va a
strategy
cambiar un poco el planteamiento.
towards
Y
the
luego acaba
match?
de
Do you
decir
believe that your strategy without the
bueno, pues
French
que Xavi Alonso lleva
footballer will
pocos días,
change?
pocos días
And
en
yes,
el Madrid.
Xavi
Si piensa
Alonso
que ese
has
puede ser
been
una
for
de las
just a few
oportunidades
days
que
in
tiene
Real
Pachuca
Madrid,
de
but do
cara
you think
a
that
sacar
is
algo
one of
positivo mañana.
Pachuca's
Gracias.
Sí,
opportunities to
evidentemente Mbappé
score
es un
tomorrow?
jugador que
Well, yes,
lo hemos
indeed.
visto en su carrera, que te
Mbappe
condiciona a los
is,
equipos,
we've
¿no?
seen
Y
him
es
throughout his
otro fuera de
career. He
serie que
really
sin duda alguna
conditions any match. He's
muy determinante.
outstanding,
Ahora,
and he's quite
pero la plantilla del Madrid
determinant, and his
es vasta
performance
y
is
me parece que Gonzalo lo está haciendo bastante
determinant.
bien y el
And
que juegue ahí
Real
lo puede hacer bastante
Madrid's
bien. Entonces, son
full
jugadores distintos,
squad
pero
is
sin duda alguna
amazing.
que lo
Xavi
que te puede dar
is
un campeón del
very
mundo
smart.
es
They're all
importante. Ahora,
quite different, and
esperemos estar atentos
world
de todos, no
champions
solamente de Vinicius
make the
o Mbappé
difference.
en
So
este
we're going to
caso, de
have
cada
to
uno de
pay
los
attention
jugadores
to all
tenemos
of
que estar
them, not only
muy
to Vinicius,
presentes,
not only to
muy
Mbappe,
activos
to
mental y
each one of the
físicamente para
players. We
poder
need to be present
contrarrestar lo que
physically
ellos
and
puedan hacer.
mentally active to
Me dijiste otra cosa,
counterattack
perdón.
whatever they may do. You asked a second question, right?
Ajá.
I was saying that Xavi hasn't been there
Bueno,
quite
lleva
long,
poco
and what
tiempo y
do
seguramente la
you
mejor
think
versión de
about his
Xavi
performance with Al
no sé si la
Hilal?
veamos en este
Well, he
Mundial de
hasn't been
Clubes,
there
ya
much,
lo
and I really
veremos,
don't know if we're
pero
going
sin
to
duda
get
alguna
to
que con tiempo,
see
por lo
Xavi's
mostrado,
best performance
sin
in
duda
this
alguna que
Club World Cup, but
Madrid,
over time
después de
we'll
un ciclo
see
muy
it. And
exitoso con
yes,
Ancelotti,
this Madrid, after its
tendrá
powerful
nuevamente muchas
cycle with
alegrías
Ancelotti, will
y te lo digo de allá
have
y yo
many
igual que Xabi
victories.
Alonso,
I'm
entonces tengo
certain
poquito
of
tiempo
that.
también
And
con el plantel,
I
entonces
haven't been here with
en
the
ese caso
squad
estamos en
for
iguales
much
circunstancias.
longer. So we're in equal circumstances. Equal circumstances.
Hola Jaime,
Next
Archibald
question.
de FIFA.com,
Hi,
un gusto
Jaime.
verte nuevamente.
Archibald from
Bueno, estos dos
FIFA.com. It's
equipos
great to
se
see you.
enfrentaron en la final de
These
la
two
Copa
teams
Intercontinental el
faced one
pasado
another
diciembre.
in the
Así que,
final
¿cuáles
of
son
the
las lecciones
Intercontinental
que
Cup
se
last
puede sacar
December.
de ese partido
What lessons do you draw
aplicarlas
of
a
that
partido de mañana?
match, and what
Sí, sin
lessons
duda.
will
Mira,
you apply
acabo de verlo
tomorrow?
antes de venir a la conferencia del
Yes,
partido.
I just saw the
Otra vez
match
lo vi
prior
cuando
to this
le tocó
press
jugar
conference once again. You know, I saw it in December and I watched it again this time around. You just mentioned, right, that Pachuca tried to press at the same level, but of course power and the quality of Madrid gave us the final score it actually gave us. But Pachuca played wonderfully. It did have a few options. Rondon and De Osa even had the possibility of tying the game, but Madrid is quite serene and sober as a team. They know when to press the gas, and whenever they do, you need to pay close attention so they don't harm you, or they harm you the least possible.
Jaime, ¿cómo estás? José Muñoz.
Hola, José.
Jaime, this is Jose
A
Muñoz.
nivel selección ya mostraste tu calidad como
At
técnico
national
con la medalla en
team
Tokio y con
level,
la
you
Copa Oro.
already
A
proved
nivel de
yourself
clubes,
with
este
the
partido
medal in
crees que
Tokyo
te
and with the Gold
catapultará y
Cup.
te dará
What about
mayor,
at club level? Do you think
credibilidad de la
this
que ya
will
tienes? Y
boost
por
you and
último
add
preguntarte, tú ya
credibility
sabes
to your
lo que es ganarle
reputation?
al Real Madrid,
And
lo hiciste
finally,
con
you
Hugo
already
Sánchez con los
know what
Pumas.
it
¿Le
means
contaste
to
alguna
win
anécdota
Real
a tu
Madrid. You
equipo
did it with Hugo
para
Sanchez with the
demostrar que todo se
Pumas.
puede?
Have you shared any anecdotes with your team to show them that anything is possible? Well, no, it's not only the coach, the club, or the players, but winning over Madrid will always enhance your performance, and it will be remembered, just like you are reminding me of the situation in Santiago Bernabeu. And that was my experience. When we were there, it was the Galacticos, we were playing against the best team of the world, but we believed in ourselves because anything could happen over those 90 minutes. You never know what's next in the future, but if you face the situation with boldness, with bravery, and you actually believe in it, not only for the first 5 minutes or until the first goal is scored, but when you make it and as you progress, things didn't happen as they happened to us in 2004. More questions? Omar.
Buenas tardes, Jaime.
Good afternoon, Jaime. You were just saying that you watched you rewatched the December match before this press conference, and Pachuca was giving it a try. Now it's your opportunity to flip the coin. What do you think Pachuca should do? Should they be stronger next time? Or are you going to make changes in the squad? Did you like what you saw in the first game, or are these changes necessary? Well, in that specific match, I saw that Guillermo Almada was quite faithful to what he's always been. And I admire that in him because the outcome depends on many factors, not only on playing well, but I think that on this occasion, the defeat would have been even more painful if you had made any substitutions by trying to be someone you're not and something you don't feel. Guillermo played as he has played always in the league and in every tournament. He had his options. He wasn't lucky enough to score any goals. Madrid did. So this brings me back to me. Throughout my career, my career has been quite satisfying, and I've always also been defeated as a coach. So I've endured sad experiences too, but I take it easy. And whenever you create a strategy for a game, you have your own considerations about football. And when I faced Brazil, I was only in it to win it. I wasn't thinking, oh my God, this is Brazil. Of course, Brazil is not equal to another rival, but that was my mindset when I set foot on the pitch. Same thing with Uruguay, with Germany, whomever I play with. So at least I always feel there's peace of mind. Perhaps not, I don't feel happy, I don't feel glad about the defeats, but at least peacefully, yes, I do feel peaceful because I did not give in to what I actually felt. I was loyal to myself. As a coach, I will always try to find that silver lining, that weakness, so I can have a go on more matches.
Ahí atrás, por favor.
Hola, buenas tardes. Abraham Romero, El Mundo.
Hello, good afternoon, Abraham Romero, El Mundo. I wanted to ask you whether, as an American team, you consider that European football, I don't know if European fans or European clubs, they are they're underestimating
No lo sé,
clubs
no lo sé,
from
honestamente, es
overseas,
buena
from
pregunta.
America.
Creo que ha costado. Hemos
Don't know,
visto
I'm not
algunos
sure,
equipos
to be
brasileños,
honest.
sobre
Good
todo,
question.
mismo Monterrey
It's
le hace un
been
gran partido al
challenging,
Inter,
and we've seen a
pero hemos
few
visto
teams
los argentinos, hay que
such
decir,
as
tienen
Monterrey,
una
you know, the game
mentalidad
they
prueba de
played
todo,
against
pero
Inter or
es lo que decía
Argentinian
hace
clubs,
rato, creo
Brazilian
que
clubs, their
eh,
mindset. It's
no
what
sé
we
si
talked
venga,
about
también son
earlier.
temporadas tan largas en Europa que no sé si vengan
The
en el top
season in
también
Europe
todos los
is
equipos, ¿no?
so long. I'm not
Hoy me
sure
acabo
they're in the
de
peak
ver al
of their
Borussia, pues es uno
game at
en
the
Alemania y
moment.
es otro acá,
I
¿no?
watched
Si hay una gran
Borussia's game
diferencia de lo que uno puede llegar a ver allá
earlier on,
y es la
and
que,
of course
y con
the
eso uno
way they
convive
play here
siempre
is
en
completely
México, aquí en
different to the
Estados
way they
Unidos
usually play in
con nuestro
Germany.
clima,
Also,
con
the
México con
weather, you
altura,
know,
¿no?
we
La
are
altitud es
used to this
distinta,
weather here, the
entonces
altitude in
tenemos que convivir
Mexico, the
con eso
same
nosotros y estamos un poquito más
heat, so
acostumbrados a,
we're used to
pero sin
that.
duda alguna
We're a bit
yo
more
creo que el
used to
mejor
that over
fútbol,
here.
por eso los mejores de
However,
aquí o casi
there's
todos
no doubt
los mejores de
whatsoever
América
that
están jugando allá
they do the
por
best football
estructura,
over
por
there.
torneos,
That's
por
why the best
competitividad,
players
porque
of
la
America
mejor gente o todos
play
los
there
mejores
because
futbolistas del
of the
mundo
clubs, the
acaban estando en las mejores
competitiveness.
ligas que prácticamente 5,
Most
6, 10 están en
of the
Europa.
best players in the world, they go to the 5 or 6 best leagues in the world, and they're over there in Europe.
Oye, Jaime,
Last question,
sabrás que hoy es
please.
un día muy importante, ¿no? Para el grupo.
Jaime,
El Oviedo acaba
today
de
is a
llegar a la
very
primera
important
división.
day
No sé si ya hablaste
for the
con el
group.
presidente
Oviedo was
y
just
si
promoted
tienes alguna
to the
opinión
first
de
division. I
este
don't know if
día para
you
el grupo
managed to
Pachuca.
talk to the president. What do you feel
Estábamos
about
todos en el hotel
this
viendo y ahorita no. Qué bueno que me das la noticia.
landmark for Grupo Pachuca?
Felicitarle porque es alguien que los que
Yes, we
somos
were
de
watching at
México
the hotel. Thank you
sabemos todo lo
for
que
telling me. Congratulations,
toda la vida
because
que ha
all of
dedicado
us
al
here in
fútbol,
Mexico,
que ha hecho de Pachuca
we know
un
that
equipo muy potente en nuestro país, que después
the
llegó con el
president's
Oviedo con
gone.
sueños, igual que lo hizo con Pachuca en su momento, de
He's
ver
done
al equipo en
everything
primera
he
división
could
nuevamente y lo está
to
logrando y
help this
es una
club,
persona
and he's
que
managing
todo lo
to
que se
give us a
propone
lot
lo
of
va logrando. Tarde
success,
que temprano lo va logrando.
and
Es un
he
orgullo poder estar
manages
aquí en esta
to
institución
achieve
por
every
gente
goal
como
he
él, por
sets
gente
for
como
himself.
Armando.
It's amazing to
Y,
be here. I feel
y
so
eso
proud to be in this
evidentemente nos
club just
responsabiliza, pero
because of
también nos
people
ilusiona
like him,
porque sabemos
like
que es alguien
Armando, and that
a quien tienes que seguir y sobre
gives
todo
us a lot of
con el ejemplo
responsibility, but it
que él
makes us
imparte y lo
very
involucrado que está a los
passionate
proyectos.
about
No
being
sabes lo
here
involucrado
because he
hoy
really
está
is a
allá,
role
mañana estar
model, and
aquí.
he's so committed.
Es
You can't even
impresionante la
imagine.
energía
He's
que
over
tiene, la
there
ilusión
today, and
y
tomorrow
cómo
he'll be here.
ha dado toda
His
su
level of
vida
energy,
al
enthusiasm is
proyecto del
unbelievable.
Grupo
He's
Pachuca.
really giving out of his way for
Gracias a
this
todos.
project and
Gracias a todos.
Grupo
Les
Pachuca.
recuerdo
Thank you.
a las